Hello, welcome on TECS Lens, Emerging Founders. Welcome everyone. Welcome Oresti. I'm glad for having you here today.
Hi, Antonis. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here and have a chat
Where are
with you
you
today.
joining us from today, Oresti?
I'm joining today from Dublin, from Ireland, where I lived the last few years, like 5 or 6 years, like around. So yes, I'm from Dublin today.
Orestis Varlamis is the co-founder of ORMA. But before we dive into ORMA, tell us one surprising thing about yourself or your journey so far that most people wouldn't expect, Oresti.
Yeah, so one surprising journey, I would say, like, first of all, obviously, I'm from Greece myself, was born in Germany, raised in Greece, but as I said, I moved to Dublin like in 2019, obviously for the tech industry here. So I got a job in, first of all, in Dropbox, and then I moved to different big tech companies like Microsoft and AWS, and then back to Microsoft again. So this was the main reason why I moved here. And so I built a career around these tech companies in tech sales, working with different customers. And however, one surprising fact about me is the fact that I do have a passion about hospitality. And this passion was transformed through like different periods of time. And I did these WSET courses to become a sommelier, basically for wine. And this is like how I like this passion like came to life, and this is how we built Orma now.
So you're trying actually to combine your passion with a new venture.
Correct. Yes. So we are trying now to combine this enterprise tech sales experience with the passion for hospitality. So this is what we do now.
Can you take us back to the moment or experience that made this problem in hospitality impossible to ignore?
Yes, so it was one moment when I used to do the second WSET course, and the teacher there, who was a very experienced teacher, not only teaching like wine but also about cocktails. And this person, a Swedish guy, whatever, who lives here in Dublin as well, and he said to us this very beautiful story about like how the espresso martini was created. And basically it was created in London, in a bar in London. And so this supermodel went to this hotel bar and asked for something to wake me up and mess me up. And this is like a story, like I don't remember which supermodel this was, but anyway, this is a fake story. But what surprised me was the fact that through storytelling, somebody can increase guest satisfaction, somebody who can become more curious about that. And this is somehow combined with human interaction and human performance as well, if you are from the side of the bartender who is telling this story. So this is was the first element that made me think that, okay, this is something nice that could be there, and something is there. So this is like was the first encounter of starting Orma and starting this idea.
Why does this challenge around people, performance, training matter to you personally?
Yes, what matters to me, I mean, as I said before, I was in sales, in different, working with different customers. And what I always found fascinating is that regardless in which environment you are, human performance plays a significant role. And if we go like back again through my corporate experience, what I find personally super attractive is that if you have the specific data and the right knowledge, then you can have some specific outcomes. And this is what we are trying now to do with Orma in a completely different environment. Of course, we are not a cloud. We don't offer clouds. What we offer actually is like a revenue intelligence platform for hospitality, where we can connect this staff learning with POS systems, with different outcomes and different metrics, when you can actually measure the results. And this is why this matters for me, because it's something transferable, and it is something that through this correlation we can influence the data and make more data-driven decisions, basically.
If you had to capture that initial spark behind Orma, uh, in a single phrase or image, what would it be?
Oh, yes. So the single phrase or image, I would say, sitting after a very, very long day in a bar, in a hotel bar, and having this relaxed and chilled drink where you just smile after the first sip. I think this is how I would describe ORMA.
And what was the very first hard decision you took to move from the idea to building the company?
Mhm. Yes, so the most difficult, I would say, part was the fact that, as I said before, I used to work in all these big tech companies. My last company was Microsoft's. And in order to make this choice to say that, you know what, now I'm going all into ORMA and leave a very good salary, a very structured, career path, not just in Microsoft, but also to jump to other tech companies. That was a hard decision, the very, very hard decision to make, because now obviously I am, on my own. I don't have the resources of Microsoft. I don't have the salary of Microsoft, and I don't have the structure of Microsoft. So this was the very, very hard decision to make in order to start something on my own from scratch, from zero, and abandoning this corporate life of these super big tech companies. And yeah, from idea to execution was a very, very long journey. So this was the very, very hard choice I had to make by the time.
One of the most challenging issues that every founder faces, especially if he or she has such a career path already in place. How did it feel showing the concept to a hospitality operator or a manager for the first time?
Yes, the first time it was, first of all, I described just the idea, not the product we developed. So the idea, once I described this idea to this, it was a restaurant owner actually, and this person, he told me, "Wow, like I haven't heard something like that before, and this would be super, super interesting and super nice to have." So I was like, okay, there is something there. So that was the first like sparkle and the first like, let's say, feedback from the idea perspective, that I was like, okay, then we have something here and we have to develop that and execute that in order to find out more.
And what was your earliest experiment or MVP, and what did it teach you about the problem of this specific market you are targeting?
Yeah, so that's an interesting topic here, because both myself and my co-founder, like Marco, we are not technical people. So we are both in sales, tech sales, but not technical. So the first thing what was what was there was the fact that we had to build something on our own without having the technical expertise to do that. And of course, we tried at first this vibe coding tools like Lovable or Bolt, in order to have a visual. Because if you have a visual, it's much easier to see like further and down the road what we could build. Of course, we abandoned this idea and we moved towards a no-code app, which is called Glide. So we based everything there. We built everything on our own. And the toughest part here was not only to build it, but also like to polish it and make it as good as possible and bring it out to the people to test it. And yeah, once the people were starting like testing it, we were trying with them to have like the so-called design partners in order to design these products together, and in order to get like very much like feedback, obviously, because we wanted this feedback in the beginning, in order to not only improve it, but also to find where we could belong and where we could land within this hospitality spectrum.
How did you meet your co-founder, and what convinced you to team up?
Yeah, so my co-founder, like Marco Suki, we used to work together actually. In my first job here in Ireland, it was we were like selling Dropbox by the time, and a few months after I joined, he joined the company as well, and I was actually his onboarding buddy. So I showed him around and I showed him like a little bit how we can do work and how to sell basically business, Dropbox business. And we vibed from the first moment, and as people actually, and we became friends as well. And at the same time, we both developed this interest that we have about wine. And we started like outside of work, we started going to some wine courses and testing like different like wines and keeping like notes and stuff like that. And then we said like, you know what, let's start actually doing, learning actually and get some certificates about wine. And this is how we started about developing and developing every year this interest about the industry, the hospitality industry, not just wine, but also like the whole spectrum. And of course, because both of us, we like going to some places like hotels, hotel bars, and good restaurants to try new things. So this is how we kind of vibed and we developed throughout the years this idea that led to what ORMA is doing now, actually.
And what's one thing your co-founder does particularly well that complements you?
Yes. So what I like about Marco is the fact that he's learning very, very fast and that he's super quick about achieving a goal and about going somewhere. And of course, because he now developed, like after we left Dropbox, he went to a different path. So he went down the path of startups, not the big tech like myself. And working in a startup is a completely different environment, obviously. And so he knows how to handle this stress better, obviously. And also the fact that he can be a little bit more proactive, I would say, and the fact that he can, and because he learned that through his working experience, to develop the tools in order to find the right customers and in order to find the right contacts. And this is something really, really crucial for our stage because, of course, we are a young startup. Nobody knows us. We don't have this credibility, and we need to build this. The pipelines. Actually, this is something super good that he's actually really good in doing, and this is how he's complementing me in this journey.
How do you handle disagreements or different views on product or direction at this stage?
Yeah, so this is something that we decided upon like from the first days. Every decision that we make, it has to be data driven. And of course, we need to base whatever we decide to do in something that will lead us to the next stage and to the next, let's say, milestone. In order to achieve that, we need to have the data to provide this decision making. Of course, if we do not have the data, obviously sometimes gut feeling is also very important. But at the same time, this is how we kind of handle our disagreements, our challenges down the roads. Of course, both of us, we have different perspectives. We come from different environments, different countries as well. He's Italian, I'm Greek. And in order to achieve this, balance and to find this right way of communication, besides like the data-driven approach, is also what is like the next priority for us and what is important for us. So this is how we handle all disagreements, and we are trying to make all decisions, together. And we try and we fail and we try and we fail until we, of course, find something to succeed on.
What values are you embedding into ORMA's culture from day one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for us, as I said before, like the values, what is super important is speed of action and execution. Because, of course, not only for successes, but also for failures. We want to try, go out in the markets, have a product, have a future, actually. Try it, fail, and then fix it. This is like speed of execution is super important for us. At the same time, another value is customer obsession. We want, of course, to hear the voice of the customer. And as I said before, what is very crucial and very important for us is, especially in this stage, that the customer should build the product with us. Because obviously we don't know the industry. I mean, we never worked in this industry before. What we do know is that the customer is always right. And we need to hear the opinion of the customer so we can build the product together and collect feedback. So these are the values, the three values, like speed of execution and action, customer obsession, and feedback, because we are open for feedback in order to become better, obviously, and to find the right product market fit, of course, which takes time.
Can you share a low point so far in the journey and how you navigated through it?
Yeah. As I said before, I think the lowest part was the fact that we are not technical. And we had this idea to build something for like a software product for the hospitality industry. At the same time, if you're not technical, it's a little bit tough. And this was a very, very low point. But we sat together and we decided that, you know what, we know what we want to do and what to achieve. And we decided to say, let's give it a try with all these AI tools that are around and see what we can do. And actually, we decided for the Glide app, what I said before, and this is a no-code application. And we decided to build the product there. And this was like the lowest part because we were super ignorant. But we managed from zero to build something that is actually, people are using and they actually like to use it, which is very surprising. So yeah, this was the lowest point actually because of our non-technical
What did that
background.
period reveal about you as a founder?
I think the most crucial part was resilience. The fact that you can have problems, but there are always solutions to the problems. And if you fight and if you have the willingness to create something and do something and you are passionate about that, you will find a solution in the end of the day. And of course, it gave this uncertainty, if I may say, it gave us also, it allowed us to be more creative. And this creativity led to, the actual product. And of course, as I said before, which is also one of our values, the fact that we decided that super fast and within, if I'm not wrong now, 1 week or 10 days, we actually had a product that people could use. So we were very fast in everything. So this is something that we learned throughout these periods. And I learned actually from that.
What mindset or habit helps you stay grounded when things feel uncertain?
Yes, so basically that's this uncertainty can be creative, and that's if you are self-conscious, I would say, and if you really want to know actually what your passion is and to know what you're doing, and of course, if you don't want to go back to a path that you didn't like necessarily, and this is something that you always have to remind yourself that I don't want to go back. Now let's find a solution here. So this is something that is very, very important to have as a mindset. And at the same time, what I mentioned before, resilience, you have to be resilient and you have to find different solutions to the problems that come across your path. And something else that as a mindset that is always, always helpful, this is something that I learned from my first manager actually at Microsoft, is the fact that you have to choose your battles. And this means that it's very important to prioritize and to see one problem at a time and to see what is important for now. And as a thought exercise, something that I do is that the fact that I set I'm trying to find solutions to problems that are relevant today and not next week. Because obviously, if you put yourself into more struggles and add to yourself all these problems, then it will be like a mountain to climb, and you don't need that. What we need is just to go step by step and focus at one problem at a time to what is more important in order to have everything fixed step by step.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to the customer validation, what early signals from pilots, early users have reassured you that you are onto something real?
Yes, so loads of things actually. I would say that two examples. I would mention two examples. One is from actually the two biggest POC partners. One restaurant, and the fact that the users they were emailing me asking for more content and more modules to test and to train because they loved it so much, and they wanted to increase their knowledge and they wanted to see more results. Because of course it's very, very helpful for them is not only that they learn, and knowledge of course is nice to have and it's power at some point, but at the same time it's very helpful for them in a practical way because of course they can get more tips. So this is something like a first validation, like one of the very, very first ones. And then the second one is the second validation that is coming from a hotel, which is a 5-star hotel here in Ireland, one of the biggest ones in the country and a historic place actually. And here is the fact that the management of the hotel asked us organically to expand to more modules. And we started with 2 or 3 modules speaking about, customer satisfaction, about how you correlate like wine to performance, how you correlate cocktails to performance. But organically, we moved into tea, into coffee. And now the latest one, which was one of the most interesting one, was the fact that we combined the artwork and the paintings that they were hanging in the hotel with their afternoon tea service. So this was something like the super good correlation. This was a very, very big signal that something is going on here and something is, big.
Yeah, amazing. New directions emerging. If we revisit you in a couple of years, what specific milestone would make you feel proudest?
Yes, I would say the proudest one would be to, of course, win the market here in Ireland and be in loads of venues. If I can quantify that, I would say 50 to 100 venues here in Ireland, and be ready to expand also towards the UK markets and gradually, of course, to the rest of Europe. But yeah, it would make me very, very proud to be part, of their journey as well, especially the hotel groups, luxury hotel groups. This would make me super, super proud. And this is something that I'm really looking forward to.
If ORMA succeeds at scale, how do you think hospitality teams and managers will
Mhm.
experience their day-to-day work differently?
I would say what will change is the fact that especially management will become more data driven, and all decisions that they will make will be based on actual data and actual human performance, which is missing right now. And a second part about the whole industry is the fact that frontline workers, regardless if you are, I don't know, a bartender, a sommelier, housekeeping, concierge, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. The thing is that these people will be able to get some high class training in order to become better. And they will be, I mean, because I'm comparing that with my own experience with the, tech background, and we had plenty of training, good training. So this is something that I would love them to have as well, in order for them to become better and to, to have to be more correlated to the knowledge workers instead of just frontline stuff, which is a little bit their power is a little bit underestimated.
Oresti, how has building ORMA changed you personally?
It changed me in very different ways, and it changed me every day actually, because it's a completely different world. It's like working in your own thing, in your own startup, in your own company, and building it from scratch compared to working in a big tech company is something in completely different worlds. And I would say this work-life balance, it changes completely, and the fact that now your kind of personality or identities around this startup world, this is something that changed me massively, because obviously you don't have the credibility, nobody knows you compared to working for Microsoft or representing a company like Microsoft or AWS. Of course, you are sitting behind a super big identity and a brand that everybody knows. And what is really, really important here is the fact that working in these companies, if you have a problem, if you have a customer problem, if you have whatever problem you can like face, you can easily solve it because there are resources. If you don't find the resources yourself, you have somebody to ask, because there are loads of people to ask around, and people who have more experience and more knowledge than you. In comparison to what we do now as a startup founder, uh, you don't have these resources, and the resource is just you. So it's you who is up front, and it's you who is like needing to find this solution and find this to any problem that you're facing. And in this sense, it makes you a little bit more accountable, I would say, and more responsible, and not necessarily more careful, but the feeling of accountability is changing, and you become a little bit more mature about what you do and what you say. At the same time that this forces you to grow massively as a person as well, and it forces you also to simplify things and find this solution for your company. And because now, as I said before, you are in the spotlight, just yourself, your name is there, and not a big name like Microsoft, like anybody else. So this is something that's changed me a lot, changed me massively, and changed my approach in life, in my conversations as well. When I speak to people, Because I mean, whenever you have to go to and speak to some customers, to speak with potential investors, potential I don't know what else, like incubators or accelerators, it's just you there, and you have to pitch yourself first, and of course what you do, instead of pitching a big organization, a big company that is just, in the end of the day, just a job.
And what's one common myth about startups you have already learned isn't quite true?
I would say through this experience, the ORMA experience, is the fact that you have to be technical in order to build a tech product, a software product. This is not the case. This is debunked. We managed to create something from scratch that is actually working without being technical. And especially with the tools that are around today, you can build something, whatever you want, actually. It's super easy with the help, of course, with all this like ChatGPTs and Geminis and Claudes that are around. You can actually have not just an MVP, but something that can be an actual business and can be a pretty like successful SaaS product. Because this is what we did, and this is something that I would say we debunked, and it's a myth that is not existent. So the only thing is that if you have an idea, you have to just go out and execute it. That's all.
If a hospitality operator, group leader, or potential partner is watching this, what would you like them to know?
I would say that what I would like to tell them, regardless if they are, a big hotel group or a Michelin star restaurants in whatever location, if they're in Dublin, in London, in Athens, we don't care about that. What I would like to say here is that basically that human performance matters. And if we can provide and show that through the data, there is this correlation and this analysis that you can actually have better results if it comes to revenues. Of course, who doesn't want more revenue, especially in the times we live in? And also at the same time, if you want to increase your quality scores, the quality assurance scores through these LQAs, what the hotels are offering, this is something that we can do as ORMA. And we would like to have, of course, a chat with you about that. So this is something that I would like to tell them. And of course, at the same time, because this is, of course, the customer, at the same time, we are also open to some partnerships. And especially if we speak about the F&B sector, different brands of spirits, for example, we can co-create things with them as well in order to make some more data-driven outcomes.
Mhm. How can people best connect with you and also support ORMA at this stage?
I would say LinkedIn is the best option. My name is below here. You can find me and connect with me on LinkedIn. And at this stage, how we can benefit, like in terms of collaborations, we are very open for different kind of collaborations. And because, of course, we would like to move these products to the next stage, building the a more like sophisticated AI data-driven machine data engine. We are also open to some technical validation partners, so we are open for that as well.
Looking back on the journey so far, what's one moment or insight that makes you most proud as a founder?
I would say the proudest moment was the fact that we managed to build a product from scratch, and the fact that we went to this very big hotel here in Ireland, we pitched the product, they liked it, they used it. We also, I will use only this example now, this partnership with them, this POC with them. The fact that our hypothesis was not only tested, but we found some different directions through them as well. And the fact that we built this product together, and we are building this product at the same time, like now as well, not to speak, and that the fact that we are moving towards different directions as well within this hotel. So this is something that makes me very, very proud. The fact that we are humble enough to listen to them, what they need in order to build something that the market will actually want.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Oresti. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being so insightful. sharing all these insights from your journey so far.
Thank you as well, Antonis, for having me here. It was a very nice chat.
Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Bye.